Yeah, certain people. Okay, so I just did an episode with AlphaKings123. He's a content creator here on YouTube. He does reactions, he does music, he does skits, he does all kinds of cool stuff. So make sure you check out his channel and subscribe to him there. We talk about all of that. We also talk about being creative. We talk about being genuine. We even talk about fried chicken as well. So make sure you stick around for all of that. And make sure you like, share, subscribe. And yeah, let me know which other people from the internet you think I should talk to next. But for now, enjoy. Big up men like Alpha Kings for coming through. But yeah, so like I was saying before, just trying to get people on, YouTubers, content creators of all kinds,
Yeah.
to talk about creativity, inspirations, and people's like journeys on YouTube and stuff like that. And like I said, I've been watching your content for a while. I found you through the reactions that you do,
Yeah.
but I've since kind of gone back a little bit. I see that you've done music, you've done skits, you've done
Yeah.
quite a few things.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, tell me a little bit about that journey, like that kind of progression and where that
Okay.
kind of came from.
Well, I'll be honest with you, I don't remember when I actually started. I think it was about 5 years ago, right?
Oh, I know when you started. I looked it
Basically,
up. I looked it up. So,
fair enough. No, fair enough. No, but for me, yeah, basically the whole journey started. It started when I was in sixth form, right?
okay,
And at the time, obviously, I was just kind of just looking for something for me to do because at the time I had stopped playing basketball, right? Like trying to pursue it professionally because I wanted to pursue it professionally, but no, I didn't hurt my knee or nothing. I just stopped.
mm,
I just lost the passion for it, right? So I was studying media in sixth form, right? And then eventually there was a day where media students got to meet these people who worked at YouTube studios, and then you got to
right,
enter
yeah,
this
yeah.
competition, and then it's basically through that competition that I was like, maybe I am kind of good at this, you know what I'm saying? And then I just basically started from there, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, started with my Samsung S3. A lot of people don't
Okay,
believe, but
yeah.
started with the S3. Got my first 100 subscribers that way
Hey,
before I
no, I
even got
could.
my first camera, bro.
You know what? I could believe. I think one of the things that, especially now, sometimes people ask, how to get started on YouTube, and it's often like people think like you need like this camera and that. And of course, that's all nice
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
can get it, but
Oh
honestly,
yeah,
I think a
100.
lot of things
Yeah.
is just start with what you've got. You know what I mean?
100,
Start with what you've got.
100%. Yeah. No, literally, that's what I tell a lot of people because I do often get like people asking me for advice and things like that sometimes, like oh how do I start? How do I start? And I literally just tell them just start. Like
Mm,
your first video is never going to be perfect, and that's something that you're going to have to just come to terms with. Do you get? Because a lot of people are very just like I've seen a lot of new YouTubers just be so scared to hit upload because they're like, oh, what if it's not good enough?
mm,
What if it's not? Mate, my first couple of videos, I got gassed at anytime I got 5 views. I was like, yeah, I'm basically
mm.
bloody
Yeah,
KSI in
yeah, I
here. You know
remember
what I'm saying? Like,
that.
I was like, yeah, man, I'm the guy. Come on, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
yeah, no, yeah,
those first views that aren't you hitting a refresh button when you're like, oh, somebody
yeah,
actually
oh
watched my
yeah.
video.
Yeah, yeah, no, no, like them ones there where you just upload a video, you go to sleep, and then you wake up, you're like, oh my, okay,
Mm,
you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's a pretty fun journey, but kind of just got addicted to it at some point. So
yeah.
here I am. Yeah,
Speaking of first videos, like I said, I did kind of go back in your YouTube history, and the
yeah.
earliest video that I found was actually you. It was a vlog where you were talking about inspiration, and you were talking about you had a
Oh
vision
yeah.
board
Oh
in the
yeah.
back, and you were talking about some of the things that you've done, the things that you've ticked off, and then
Mm,
I think towards the end of the video, you said that the biggest one was the YouTube. You kind of pointed to the YouTube that you had on the paper on the back.
yeah.
And I mean, do you still have that vision board? You still sort of checking on it? And
I have a different one now. It's not just a bunch of pieces of paper on my wall. I've actually got like a whole like canvas with different pictures on it now. Yeah, I
okay,
mean, so I'm very big into like visualization and things like that. You know what I mean? I'm very big into having your goals in front of you because I just feel like, oh, for me
mm,
as creative, I just feel like it's just easier if I see it, then it's like cool. I know how to get to it. Does that make sense?
yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
say
yeah.
for myself, I mean, I've tried doing things like vision boards or putting stuff on your phone and sending it to remind. I find for myself personally that I get to a point where I'm kind of switching off a little bit because I've seen it all the time that I'm not fully paying attention to it. Do you find that
Yeah.
happens? And if so, how do you kind of get past that?
No, of course, of course. I feel like everybody kind of gets to that point at some point, but the way in which that I just get past it is just like I constantly remind myself, okay, how bad do you want it? You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So I'm literally just always thinking to myself, like, how badly do you want it? You want it bad? Yeah, okay, all right. Get up, let's go do some work. You know what I mean? And then obviously because I'm passionate about what I do, that kind of just helps anyway. Because it
Mm.
doesn't feel like a chore. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Yeah, no, I understand
Mm.
that. Like, it's that old saying about if you love what you do, then you never work a day in your life. Which,
No, no,
I
honestly,
mean, on a
honestly, it doesn't feel like
technicality, not quite accurate, but just the general idea that it
it.
doesn't
Yeah.
feel like it's work.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
yeah, okay. So,
Yeah,
what your
precisely, precisely.
music then was? I guess music came after you started YouTube. Would that be right? Was you or have you always done music?
I've always had an interest in music. I've always been such an old soul, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people, like a lot of my elders used to go on to me about like how much old music I used to know because
Mm.
I like to listen to 80s, 90s,
Okay,
sometimes
yeah,
even
yeah.
70s music. You know what I'm saying? And music has always been there, but for me to actually start doing it now, that really started happening, yeah, after YouTube, I think. After I started on YouTube. Yeah. Because I started like in college to pursue it because I've always dabbled, you know what I mean? Like I can play guitar, I can play piano a little bit.
Oh, nice,
Yeah, I mean,
nice.
yeah. And recently I've just started learning how to sing and things like that. So I've always had an interest. So it's just like, why not? You never know. Yeah, I mean,
You mentioned 70s, 80s. Like, I think we've got to talk a little bit about this. What's the name? Name
yeah.
a few old schools or 80s artists that have inspired
Uh,
you,
that inspired me. Okay.
or,
All
or, or
right.
just
Don't.
or just stuff that you really like at least.
Oh, okay, okay. I love old school R&B. So if we're talking like, Can You Stand the Rain, End of the Road, some Luther Vandross, you can never go wrong with that. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? You can never go wrong with a bit of Charlie Wilson. Of course, Michael Jackson, of course.
mm,
But again, that's just a given. I think everybody loves him.
yeah,
He's great. Um,
yeah,
you know what I mean? So just things along those lines. Yeah, that's a bit of me. Yeah,
yeah. No.
that's definitely a bit of me.
Michael Jackson back in the day. So when I was a kid, Michael Jackson was everywhere, and
Trust.
this is like. I think MTV kind of came a bit later on in sort of the mid '80s,
Yeah.
I think, but we didn't
Oh,
have
okay.
access to that anyway.
Mm,
So for things where Michael Jackson was releasing a new video, it'd be something like it'd be on like you had that children's BBC,
mm.
and they'll like announce that he's got a new video coming,
Yeah.
and you'd have to wait till a certain time, and they'll tell you that it's coming on whatever day. So you'd be crying around the TV, just waiting for this new Michael Jackson video to
Yeah.
drop. And of course, like
Yeah.
they'll have to cut it down because it's TV. Oh, you don't realize it at the time, but they'll have to cut down these videos because they're super long. Like the old school
Yeah. Yeah.
Michael
They
Jackson
are.
videos, are like 15, 17, 20 minutes long, but they'll cut it
Yeah.
down to like 2, 3, 4 minutes or whatever. But it'd just be the most coolest thing ever. Like Michael Jackson back in the day
Honestly,
was just it. He's just.
genius. Yeah. It was a genius. It was like honestly, like I often wonder where my life would be if I didn't, see creative people like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, because honestly, nah, I still like start smiling like talking about it sometimes. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, bro, like who thinks like can you imagine the sort of thought processes and meetings they had to have to like make these videos a reality? You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm.
imagine Michael just saying, "No, I want to lean." And he's like, "What? What do you mean lean? Yeah, I want to
Mm.
lean.
Yeah.
I want my face to be like this far away from the
Right.
ground. Can you make that happen?" Do you know what I mean? Like, who thinks of that? That's genius right there, man. That's beautiful. Yeah.
That kind of the thing with it. I think like when you describe creativity, it is sort of that sort of spark in your mind that you kind of
Mm.
think of stuff that either hasn't been done before or maybe it has been
Mm.
done before, but you're trying to think of it in a different way. And then
Yeah.
effectively at some point, yeah, you have to say like, okay, I want to do this. And then somebody kind of has to figure out how does that work.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is that kind of like, I mean, I guess you have kind of have to think outside of, what sort of boundaries that currently exist in this world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm sure like Michael Jackson or any artist, in fact, I'm sure yourself has probably been through this as well, where you might have people
Mm.
saying things like, "Oh, you can't do that," or "That's a stupid idea," or
Yeah.
that's at the other. And to be fair, sometimes not every idea we have is a great idea. I think to be
Yeah.
fair,
No, 100%. Yeah.
but
No, of course.
I guess you kind of have to try to figure out for yourself, like, is what do you believe is a really good idea versus the things that you could probably just let go of, you know?
Mm.
How do you kind of get through that yourself then? If somebody comes to you and says you have an idea for a song or a video or whatever, and somebody says, that's a bad idea, but you kind of know in your mind that's a great idea, like how do you kind of differentiate between a great idea and one that's, actually, maybe I should leave that one alone?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think I like. I don't really see a difference, if I'm going to be completely honest, because for me it's like it's like that 10,000 hours theory or whatever. It's just I just put things out because I never want to leave things to the unknown. Yeah, cool. Some ideas it's like this one might be a bit shaky, but let me release it anyway because you actually never know. You know what I'm saying? Because we live in a day and age where something as simple as a guy, you know what I mean, like undoing hacks on TikTok, right, and just going gets millions upon millions of views.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
big up Kabi Lamy.
exactly, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm pretty sure he's definitely had a few videos where he's like, I probably shouldn't. But he done it anyway, and it probably blew up for him. You know what I mean? So I mean, typically I kind of weigh it in my own mind, really. I don't because other people's opinions, I ask a very few selective group of people because I know that they'll give me the like real like opinion. Yeah. They'll give me their real opinion and it will be constructive, not just like, oh, nah, man, that's stupid. Okay, why is it stupid? Nah, man, it's just stupid. Right. You know what I mean? At least these people will be like, okay, here are the reasons, and this is probably what you can do in order to make it a bit better. But again, they'll end it with the whole, but hey, that's just me. Yeah, I mean, but yeah. I think that's how I'll do that.
Yeah, and I think that's important actually to have that kind of people around you, the people who are supportive. Let you know when you're doing well, but also not afraid to let you know when you're screwing up. But when they're telling you that's something, if they think something's bad, that's coming from a place of love rather than just a place of like animosity. Because I think there's sometimes people tell you something shit or whatever, but they just say that because they can't do it themselves, not necessarily because they're trying to help you improve. And I think. It can be difficult finding people like that. So if you have a group of people like that, definitely keep a hold of that.
Yeah. Oh no, 100%. And the day that I noticed that I had a group of people like that, I was like, okay, cool. I'm coming to you guys for everything now. Okay, please. Because of course, I definitely I had to let go of a lot of people, bro. I had to let go of a few individuals because you can literally just see where it's like, you just don't like me. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Me, I'm not gonna lose any sleep over it. It's okay. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But it definitely is important to have people like that, especially if you know they're people like that. Yeah.
Actually, speaking of feedback, I guess this kind of falls into this kind of era, but because with the videos that you do and the journey you've had on YouTube, I imagine this sort of things happen where you'd have people sort of come into your comment section and immediately say things like what you should and shouldn't be doing, and some of it might be stuff to consider, sure, but personally, I find a lot of it is like. No, that does not fall in line with anything I'm trying to do, and I think that's kind of a process to give. I mean, because I used to work as a manager in a place where you train people, and one of the things you learn is that when you're giving feedback, is that if you're going to give feedback, rather, is that you need to know what that person's trying to do, and I think there's a lot of people that sort of go into your comment section and they assume that they know what you're trying to do based on maybe what other people or whatever, but they assume that you're trying to do this or you're trying to do that, and they start giving this advice, and it's kind of like, thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah. A lot of people in my comment section, some reaction videos obviously do better than others, and on some reaction videos, I can just tell people are just bored. Yeah, I mean, I don't pay him any attention, man. I don't care. Like it takes 2 seconds to do this on a screen. You know what I mean? And some people, like, obviously, again, like you said, some things it's like, okay, yeah, I didn't really think about it like that. Cool. Yeah, I mean, and I'd probably start looking into that area a bit more. But then other people, it's just like, what? You know what I mean? It's just like, what are you talking about? That's not me. If you don't like it, leave. It's okay.
Right. You're in the wrong place, dude. Like,
no, for real. Yeah.
So what? Because reactions. I mean, like, so I thank you for your reaction videos, and reaction videos do kind of get kind of a bad rap on YouTube. So what kind of made you feel like that's something that you wanted to do?
Well, whenever I get into my Alpha King persona, right? It's because Alpha King is really more of a character, if I'm going to be honest. Obviously, it's me, but just a bit more exaggerated, right?
Yeah.
So whenever I'm watching stuff, especially stuff that like can solicit a reaction out of me, I become very animated, and I'm like, this can be entertaining to someone. Do you know what I mean? And obviously, I know a lot of people are like, oh, yeah, no, man, you're just getting credit, blah, 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 for other people's work. You're not even doing anything and things like that. But a lot of people actually don't realize it's like a lot of work actually goes into every kind of video, actually. So even a video like that, there's always a large degree of work that a lot of people don't see. And for me, the bad rep that it usually gets, again, it doesn't really affect me. I don't really focus on that. I just want to focus on me and basically making people laugh through what I'm doing. Yeah, I mean, that's the issue, yeah. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
No, and I think I kind of see it the same sort of way, is that I feel it's something because I mean, when I started this channel, the biggest thing for me was about self-expression and just finding different ways to express myself in, you know, through vlogging or whatever it may be. And I think one of the cool things about reactions is that it is kind of you in that moment, you know, where you just kind of, whether it's something that made you laugh, something that made you remember a story, or something that made you, you know, and it's kind of that. And so I feel like it's just trying to be you, trying to genuinely respond to something in an authentic way. I know, like, at least in my experience, not a lot of people like that. You know, they want you to be very sort of, you know, keep quiet at that section, don't talk there, wait till the end of the video. Like, yeah, you're in the wrong place, dude.
Yeah, no, a lot of people really hate it whenever I pause, because I pause a lot. And because obviously, you know, I'm a film student as well, so I notice a lot of things that other people don't notice. I'm like, yo, guys, man, look at the composite. Oh my goodness, look at that. Look at this, look at that. You know what I mean? And yeah, nah, I've had a few people like, yo, like, just stop pausing, just react. I'm here to watch you react, man. Chill. I'm just like, okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
It is what it is, but I do feel like, I mean, one of the kind of things that came to my mind a little while ago is that if you wanted to, and I'm sure people do this, but if you wanted to, you could just, like, you know, do whatever people ask you to do. I just do, like, I don't know, 10 videos a day doing that, and probably get really popular doing that as well. But I think for me, at least anyway, the problem with that is that you'd get popular doing something that isn't really you, you know?
Exactly.
And I'd rather not do that, because that just doesn't sound like success to me. Like, just getting popular doing something that doesn't necessarily represent who you are or what you're about or what you're trying to do. We just kind of feel like it's people like something that isn't actually you, you know. And I'd rather people, you know, the people come around that are actually interested in what I'm trying to do and what I'm trying to say and you know, put out into the world, you know.
Yeah, no, I feel the exact same way, because a lot of people give me suggestions. Yo, man, do this and you blow it instantly. They're probably right. But if it's not what I want to do, then what's the point? Because to me, like I say a lot of the time to people, like, what's life without passion? Do you know what I'm saying? Because what's the point of getting up in the morning if you're not passionate about what you do? Yeah, like, I definitely do get where people are coming from sometimes, because obviously if you see a lot of people over there, you can capitalize on that. But it's like, I'd rather put in the work and know that, cool, that the audience that I'm getting now is, like, you know, people that actually want to be here, not because I'm just following some trend, and if I don't stay trendy, I'm going to start losing people. No. I'd rather have those genuine people, you know what I mean? The people who watch my lives and things like that, and actually, you know, like, respond to that. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I would rather build. And of course, cool, it might take me longer, but I'm going to get there eventually, just because I know that I work hella hard. That's it.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, I know in times where I've tried to be the guy who's, you know, been on every single trend, as you know, as much, it's exhausting. It is so exhausting, you know.
It really is.
I guess it's different for different people, but for me, I was exhausted very quickly, you know, because it's kind of like, especially when there's certain things that come along that are trending that you might know about, and that's great. I've already got knowledge on this thing. I can talk about this, great. But then a lot of it is stuff where it's like, I know nothing about that. I know very little about this. And you're trying to put a video about something that you try to do the research, and it's like, but it's just exhausting.
It is. You know? It is. Yeah. For certain things, it's like, sometimes you just end up doing videos that you don't even care about. Like, after you hit upload, it's like, all right, cool, on to the next. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, again, with the whole trending thing, sometimes I have been able to capitalize on it, because it just so happened to be a video that it just so happened to be a trend that, okay, cool, I can fit into this category, cool.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's done really well for me. But then other times it's just like, I don't want to do this, nah. Like,
Mm.
have you ever like filmed a video and you just looked at it afterwards and you're just like, nah, I don't want to upload
Yeah.
this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I've had so many videos, right, where it's just like, I'm not doing this. I'm nah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? After I've recorded it, I'm just like, nah, let me get rid of this.
Yeah,
Can't do it.
no, yeah, that's been a few times. In fact, I kind of have a thing for myself where I say just because I think of it, that doesn't mean I have to make it. Just because I
Yeah.
make it, that doesn't mean I have to edit it. Just because I
Yeah.
edit it doesn't mean I have to upload it. Just because I upload
Exactly.
it doesn't mean I have to press public. And even if I
Yeah.
press public, that doesn't mean it has to stay public.
Exactly.
Because there's
Exactly.
some
Exactly.
videos you look back and you think, you know what, whether it's opinions change or you've changed or just something about a video, we just think, you know what, that actually does not represent me. You know,
Yeah.
that's something that I've done that for whatever reason came out, but I'm
Yeah.
looking back at it like, no, I don't think this represents what I'm trying to do, and be like, yeah, no, this is not staying up. You know,
Yeah. No, I've deleted quite a few videos myself actually.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think it has to be
So
done
yeah.
sometimes. You know,
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Definitely. Definitely. Definitely.
I would say in general, if I've uploaded a video that's gone public, I generally don't delete it as a general kind of rule.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, certain circumstances where you're looking back at things like, you know what,
Yeah.
that's just not what I want to represent,
Yeah.
and it's just gonna have to go. You know, so yeah.
No, it makes sense. Some of the videos just went just because it was like, ew. No. I just saw myself at the time. I was like, no, sir. No one deserves to see that. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But yeah. No, generally it's just, yeah, like, you know, the reason that you said, well, it's just like, nah, this isn't a bit of me anymore. Just get rid of it. Yeah.
Do you feel like you've kind of found your, say, voice, if you will, or to kind of like, you know, in terms of like YouTube and what you want to be doing? Do you feel like what you're doing now is pretty much how you? I mean, of course, things are going to change, but do you feel like this is pretty much how you want to progress, or do you still feel like there could be like massive changes still to come?
I feel like there's massive changes that can still come, but I feel like I'm getting there because I feel like I'm slowly beginning to somewhat make an impact. Because again, every so often I do get that comment where it's just like, oh, bro, like I found your video, blah, blah, it made me feel this way. Oh, it made me think this.
Mm.
So that to me is telling me, all right, cool. Like I'm starting to get to where I want to be. But am I where I want to be now? No. Yeah, I mean, but again, that's just something that's gonna come in the future, which is why I'm saying, like, yeah, cool. I think there's still a drastic change. That, hit my mic. I still feel like there's gonna be a drastic change that's gonna come. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah.
Where
So
would you
yeah,
say where would you say you are, and how's that compared to where you want to be?
where I am, I'd say I'm literally just at level 1, if I'm gonna be completely honest. Where it's like I can maybe, like, with my voice, I can maybe affect the lives of few, right? A few. But where I want to be is I want to be able to potentially affect the lives of thousands, if not millions. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like that's what I want to get to a level where it's just like, because I'm always about preaching positivity and things like that. So I want to get to a level where when I'm preaching that, I know that even if it's just one person, but at least I know the message is getting out there to a lot of people. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean? Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I try just trying to get things out to as many people as possible, and many people will appreciate it.
Exactly.
I have a friend who told me something. Well, she didn't really tell me; she tweeted it out. But she said something like, "Everybody has an audience, and it's about trying to find an audience." And I think, say, pre-internet days, you know, before the internet was, you know, a big thing, trying to
Yeah.
find your audience might mean traveling to another whole other country. Whereas
Yeah.
now it could mean staying in your house and
Mm.
put up a video, and just people in different parts of the world finding it through YouTube or whichever social platform you're using. And I think that's kind of the
Yeah.
beauty of these things, that you can potentially reach millions and millions of people
Mm.
from the comfort of your bedroom. You know,
Yeah.
it could be like that. You know.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, no, man,
Yeah.
definitely amazing. But do you know what? Yeah, with you, like, how were you when you first started your channel?
So with me, my very first YouTube channel was probably started, I think, about 2007 or so.
Oh,
It was
jeez.
very early days of the YouTube. That channel doesn't exist anymore because there was some issues with the password and ended up getting deleted. But yeah, I'm old school in YouTube. Like, so YouTube, I think started
Yeah,
2006, and I think my first channel
yeah,
was a little bit after that. And
yeah. I
I mean,
remember that actually.
yeah, I mean, back then, YouTube, of course, was a massive different place, and most of my videos were just kind of random stuff that I'll post every now and then, just maybe a response to something, or you know, I used to be quite active on the poetry scene back then, so I might post one of my
Oh yeah.
poetry videos,
Okay.
and you know, people might comment on that, and you know, kind of talk about that sort of thing.
Mm,
And yeah, it was a cool time. It was a fun time. You know, we did it. There was a few people who we could consider popular on YouTube, but we didn't
mm,
really have like the big celebrity stars like we do now. That's
mm,
kind of came a bit later on. But what with now with YouTube, I will say that the point where I started to take it say a bit more seriously was I think 2012 ish,
mm.
where I started the channel. Not this channel, it's a different channel,
Okay.
and I've since got multiple channels just because of how that progressed. But I started the channel, and you know, I was doing like talking about movies and uh, in you know, to like sort of movie analysis, so kind of try and go in depth with movies.
Okay.
Big fan of movies for the longest time, so that was
Yeah.
kind of like what I was doing then. And but that kind of drifted into me kind of taking a piss out of movies because I've always just like telling jokes and making silly
Yeah.
comments. And as you watch, you know, you watch a movie enough time, you start noticing things about it that are just
Yeah.
stupid, right?
Yeah.
So to kind of
So many.
right, you know, all these
So
kind of
many
little
things.
errors
Yeah.
or bloopers that you can kind of take the piss out of. So it kind of drifted
Yeah.
into me kind of taking a piss out of movies a bit, and that's kind of
Mm,
like, you know what, I like telling jokes. I like, you know, doing this sort of things. That kind of drifted more into me doing comedy in other areas,
okay.
and eventually the channel that was on, like I said, was a different channel. It still exists. It's still there.
Mm,
But I was like doing all kinds of different stuff, and I just kind of thought to myself, you know what, maybe it's best to kind of split up my content a little bit. So I
yeah.
decided to set up that channel is I mostly do comedy on that channel, so comedy sketches. I have another channel where I do like the movies and I talk video games on that channel, and then
Okay.
this channel which is more sort of vlogging and you know do the reactions or you know whatever I might be doing, whatever kind of idea that comes to my head. I play piano. Well, I'm
Mm,
learning to play piano, so I might put a piano video every now and then.
okay.
And then yeah, just things like this one. I'm talking to YouTubers about their creativity. So
No,
this
that's
this
cool.
channel's
That's cool.
kind of a mixed bag, but you know I feel like
Yeah.
the way it is now, it kind of suits how I want to be doing it. So yeah, that's brief
No,
history of Haze's
no,
journey.
that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. See, I want to do the whole multiple channels thing, but no, well, at least not yet.
Yeah.
At least not yet. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Because I did try for a bit, but then it was like I haven't really built up my audience here yet. Because I'd rather focus on building a massive audience on this channel, and then
Mm.
that's what. And then when I divert, eventually, at least I know that people from this channel will follow.
Yeah.
Not everybody will. That's completely fine. I don't mind completely building a new audience, but to start from scratch,
It's a tough
it's a little
thing,
long.
you know. It's a
It's a
tough
little,
thing,
yeah, it's a little bit
and
long.
I would say the way you suggest, the way you just described that as in trying to build an audience and then set up is probably the better way to do it. It's not the way
Yeah,
I did it. I know that. I know that.
yeah,
And but then also I feel like I know why I did it the different way as well. Just because I personally rather not wait, you know. So I think there's certain things that I could be a little bit impatient about, you
yeah,
know, and I'd
yeah,
rather
yeah. I
not
feel
wait.
that.
So I know it wasn't necessarily the best way to do it, but it's a way that I felt suited me, you know. So yeah.
Mm. Yeah, no, I get that. I get that.
Mm.
Yeah, especially with the whole impatience thing. Yeah,
So speaking of comedy, actually, I mean, yeah, so you do some sketches as well. You know, I saw an old sketch that you did about was it
I did.
roadmen and
Oh yeah,
was it things that roadmen do and
yeah. 5 things that Robin. That was one of the first videos to get over like 200 views.
mm.
All right, so I went into school the next day like moving like I was KSI, bro. Like I was proper like yeah. Y'all saw my video, right? Yeah. Don't touch me. No, I have
Yeah,
200 views.
I'm a star
Don't
now.
touch me. Yeah, it's like, oh, what is this peasantry? No, don't speak to me. You know what I mean? No, no, I was extremely happy because it was yeah, it was one of my first videos that I ever just did like extremely well. Obviously, looking back at it now, if I was to redo it, I'd make it way better, way better.
Mm.
But again, that's why I like watching my old videos because you can see the progression.
Yeah.
But that video there, yeah, it's definitely a fan favorite. I still get a couple comments over about that video today. Imagine, yeah.
I know. Was that I mean, I know you're from London, so I'm guessing. I'm kind of guessing a little bit. There's a little bit of life experience in that video as well.
A little bit. Well, not
Oh,
not
wait, I
me,
say life
not
experience.
me,
Well, I
bro.
don't mean you.
Yeah, I
But
was
then
about to
again, I
say
don't know.
no.
Maybe you are. I don't know. But I meant like in
Absolutely
terms
not,
of
sir.
people you know, like
Oh yeah, no. This is just stuff I've seen because obviously like you have the wannabe roadman, and then you
yeah,
have the real roadman. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
me, I'm just that social butterfly. I'm just the fly on the wall. I'm just like, oh, what's going on over here? Okay. Oh wow, that's crazy. Oh wow, okay. You know what I mean? So I I'm very good at absorbing information and just noticing the little things. Do you know what I'm saying? Because again, like the favorite part of that video was like, when I put on all the jackets and that, and
Yeah.
then I was about to leave and I was like, oh, and then I dropped my pants in it. All right. That one there, that apparently that was the part that like got everyone laughing. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's just because it's just one of them ones where it's just like, oh no, man, that's so true. That's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and again, that's just from me just making an observation, just because, I'm just at school or whatever, and I'm just seeing things happen before me. So it's like, okay, cool, I can turn this into something. Yeah.
All right. Let me ask you this real quick then. What ends you from?
Huh?
What ends you from?
My ends.
Yeah. There's
These
south,
ends?
north,
Huh?
south,
What?
south,
That's
east,
crazy.
north.
Wait, where even am I? I think east.
South of the river, north of the river. Oh, east, east. Okay, okay, okay,
I think
okay.
it's more east. Yeah.
East. Okay, okay. I see. So,
Yeah.
you're more like Sam's chicken and ribs then, rather than
No.
or you more Morley's.
I like him more if I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I'm a foodie, innit? So I just munch everything.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, like if it tastes good, bro, I'm on it. Literally, if it's cheap and it tastes good, say less. I'm there.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, now well, here's the thing. I'm originally from North London, well, Northwest London,
Oh,
and
okay.
so yeah, there's always this thing about what's the best chicken shop, right? And whether it's like Sam's or Chicken Cottage, but then you come down south of the river and everybody's talking about Morley's. You know, so
Yeah.
there's always like this battle, like what's the best chicken? What's the best chicken shop?
Do you know
It's a bit
what?
silly to be honest, because a lot of
We
them just
used to
taste the
have
same.
that. Yeah, that's the thing. Fam, like, a lot of them are owned by the same people, bro.
Right.
Like you, yeah, all the busmen there basically own like the whole chain of restaurants and that. But yeah, no, we used to have a lot of battles like that over here. Because we have a few chicken places, right? So we had a place called Chicken Hut, another one called Chick Stop, another one called Benito Grill, and then we just got a Dixie's. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I can't lie, the Dixie's is kind of good though. I can't learn. But obviously, you know what I mean? Like back in the day, if I'm like, nah. like me and the man would actually sit down and be like, all right, lads, where are we going to eat? You know what I mean? Of course, it's chicken and chips. Everyone knows that, but where? They're like, nah, I don't want to go there, man. The wings are a bit weird, but over here, the fries are a bit soggy. But what about over here? Nah, man. They haven't got burger sauce. You know what I mean? Like nights at the round table sort of thing. Like, it was a serious thing.
Important discussions, isn't it? You know
like House of Parliament thing. You know what I mean? Like it was proper. Yeah, it was good time.
For real, I mean, London is as a lot. Like, I mean, I've lived in London my whole life, and yeah, there's lots of good about it, lots of bad about it, but yeah, lots of just like silly discussions that you had as a kid about, the best chicken shops or whatever, and
yeah, it's crazy how those conversations quickly change from best chicken shop to okay, how do I get a mortgage?
Right,
literally. Like me and my boys deep it the other day because we walked past our secondary school and we're like, weren't we just in uniform 2 seconds? Wait a minute, what just happened? You know what I mean? Life just goes so quick, man. But that's also kind of what I appreciate about YouTube because now you get to see me grow. Because I think I started when I was like 18. I'm 23 now. Yeah, you know I mean, so you sort of get to see me grow up a little bit. So I love that. So looking back at some of them old moments that I got to capture and put them up, yeah, I love that.
Okay, I guess you pretty started fresh out of school then, or while you off. Actually, I guess you were in school when you started then.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, but I dropped out of sixth form to go to college because that's when I was like, yeah, no, I want to go study film now. Thanks. Yeah. So like once I found my passion, I was just like, yeah, no, I need to go pursue this full time. Besides, sixth form just wasn't for me, if I'm gonna be completely honest.
No, I remember
Yeah.
sixth form. I did sixth form for 3 years.
Mm.
Because I did do 1 year again.
No, fair enough.
It's what it is.
I just done one and
But
a
yeah,
quarter, I think. 1 year. I didn't even finish. Yeah, I didn't even finish my second year.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I kind of got through it a little bit, and I was just like, I'm not doing this now. Yeah, I literally walked out of the classroom. I was like, yeah, I can't do this. I'm sorry.
the biggest problem with sixth
Yeah.
form, bear in mind, this is going back to like sort of late 90s when I was in school, and I'm sure things have changed a lot since then. I think one of the biggest problems with sixth form is the fact that it's in school. You know, like you have like we had a common room where everybody kind of gathers. So it's kind of like it's like a poor man's college, effectively. Like it's like you go to college, but you're not really going to college. You're still going to school. You still see all the other kids. So I guess the cool thing is that you get to wear your own clothes. Everybody else is in school uniform. That's like literally it. But aside from that, it's like you're still in school. You're just in a small dingy room waiting for class to start.
Yeah. Honestly, thinking back, I think going to college and just doing this whole YouTube thing, best decision ever for me. You know what I'm saying? So for other people, no, stay in school, definitely. But you know what I mean? But for me, that's definitely what worked out for me. Yeah. It's beautiful.
No, for real though, I do think a lot of school, especially when it comes to college, uni, a lot of it is, I mean, I went to uni, which was, I mean, it sounds great, but honestly, I feel like, I'm not going to call it a waste of time. I think that'd be inaccurate. But I feel like uni, you get the most out of, or things like college and uni, you get the most out of if you already have it clear in your mind what exactly you want to do and how that sort of factors into it. And at the time, for me, I wasn't really thinking about my future. You know, I was just thinking about partying. You know, so that was me at that age. I just wanted to party. So it's like looking back on it, I like if I could say more clear about what I want to do, what are my goals, and how does uni or college factor into that? And I feel like you get the most out of it that way. But aside from that, it's like you're just trying to please your family by going to uni and just because that's what they expect of you and that kind of thing. But me, I'm just like, well, I don't want to party. I don't care what class I do. I just want to party. I just want to be out, and that's pretty much what I did. That's pretty much what I did for the whole however long I was there for. Like just. Yeah, like
fair enough.
I mean, I passed the course, which is unbelievable. I don't know how I managed to pass the course. But because I was partying so much, But that was my uni days, just partying bullshit.
Fair enough. And like you said that you sort of didn't know like what your goals were and things like that, right? But like what are your goals for your YouTube channel? Or channels actually?
Yeah. Well, for me, I say when it comes down to it, I mean, because actually when I was in uni, and one of the things I kind of realized then is that I do like film. That's kind of one of the earliest. I mean, I knew I liked film before, but I guess that's right about the time where I knew that I liked it a lot more than most people. So I did do a film studies course, which I found very valuable. And so, I mean, I think for me it is. I would say, and from then I've done things like poetry. I've done things like what else have I done? I've had a chance to be in that movies as doing some small level, like low level acting and things like that.
Okay.
And I think for myself, how I kind of umbrella the whole thing is my biggest passion is creativity and being as creative as possible, whether that's through poetry, whether that's through whatever it may be. So on one hand, I feel like what I'm doing with YouTube is what I want to be doing. And it's just doing more of that, and finding ways to be as creative as possible, to whether if I'm doing comedy, whether to be as funny as possible, and just to keep exploring and pursuing in that, because I feel like there's a difference between a career and a job, if you will, and the word career really means to progress. It's not necessarily about how much money you make, it's just about progression. So for me, I feel like this is the career that I'm trying to progress and trying to do as much as I can with it, and but mostly trying to stay true to who I am without falling too much into the dark side of things, where it just becomes about the numbers and the this and the that. So it's
Yeah.
finding ways. Because don't get me wrong, we talked about trending topics before, and I don't have a problem with using trending topics,
Yeah,
but
of
it's
course.
at the same time, it's like you're not trying to have it guide your every decision, and so
Yeah.
being creative while staying true to myself and trying to figure out how to get this out to as many people as who might appreciate
Yeah.
it. So yeah,
Mm.
it's doing this but more. I guess is the
Yeah,
goal.
I literally get that. Yeah. That's basically how I would describe mine. It's just I want to do this, but more.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, so imagine what we're doing now, but do better. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
That's wouldn't have put it any other way, man. It's perfect.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Nice.
But yeah, man, it's I mean, for myself, like I could remember, like, I mean, when I was in school,
Mm,
secondary school, I actually
mhm.
did an art as an A level AS. I really don't remember, but I did art, and I can remember like being in sort of like maybe 14, 15 years old writing a play. So I do kind of think back in my life where it's like there's various points where I've always kind of expressed myself in a creative way, but it just wasn't maybe
Oh
until
yeah.
later on where I kind of thought to myself, actually this is something that I would want to keep doing.
Yeah.
That didn't come till I was probably didn't fully realize that till I was maybe about 27, 28, right about that kind of age. I didn't
Oh,
fully kind
really?
of realize that like all the years I've been doing this, that, and the other, but
Mm,
then didn't maybe fully realize that okay, this is actually something that I really want to pursue and do
mm.
as much as possible. But yeah, so it can take a while depending on circumstances, upbringing, this,
Yeah.
that, and the other, and you
Yeah.
know, my family, very much traditional, African family where sort of
Oh,
things
what
like
part of Africa are you
this,
from?
Nigeria.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's very much
Fair
things
enough.
like this. It's not. I mean, they never mind. It's not like they dissuaded it or anything. But
Mhm.
it's the type of thing that they don't necessarily put a whole lot of value in.
Oh yeah. Oh
And
yeah. No.
so
Literally, it was
it's
the
like
same thing
that.
for me. Yeah.
It's
With me and my family, right? I love them to death, of course, but
mm,
it definitely did take some convincing because I feel like they just needed to see some proof first.
yeah.
Because obviously, when I was in sixth form, I was studying business. I was studying what the hell was I studying? Oh yeah, I was doing business. I was doing music. I was doing media and psychology. Right. See what I'm saying? So they were looking more at psychology, business,
Mm,
that sort of thing, right? But when I told them, yeah, look, I think I want to, make films. I think I want to be creative, like creative. Yeah, it was that was a discussion. It was multiple discussions, but obviously through the competition, the vlogstar competition, right? When you became a finalist, you got to go to BAFTA, right? So when I managed to take my family to BAFTA, and obviously like they had like a pseudo red carpet sort of thing. I mean, they had
mm.
like photographers there acting as paparazzi. There was a red carpet and all sorts. I mean, and just everyone wearing suits, everyone looking nice. And I think like, I think I noticed the moment of realization, like, okay, I think our son might be good at this, what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, because they were just in the building, like, damn, okay. I think you might actually have something here. You know what I mean? But I mean, once they got on board, man, it was basically full steam ahead, man. They're just doing everything in their power to help me, which I really do appreciate. Yeah. But it
Mm.
definitely did take some convincing, let me not cap.
Yeah,
It
no,
took
for
a
real.
while.
I could believe that. It's what kind of one of these things where I guess once they see what they can describe as proof or evidence that it's something other than just you playing around, then they could be
Yeah,
more on board
yeah,
with it.
yeah.
But until then, it's kind of like, because I think, especially if you're a creative person, your measures of success are different from somebody else. Whereas somebody else measures
Yeah.
success by, say, money, fame, and this and the other, you might
Mm.
measure success by the fact that you just did something.
Yeah,
Like,
I love it.
whether it's popular, whether it's makes money, it's just the fact that you did something.
Mm.
That's kind of a measure of success for a creative person. But you show that to like your parents, and it's like, so.
Yeah, no, literally they'll be like, is this going to make you a doctor? I'm like, no.
Mm,
Like, so why are you showing me this?
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My mom wanted me to be a pastor, because
Okay.
yeah, because like, I'm good at talking to people.
Mm,
Apparently, that's what I'm told. And yeah, she was like, yeah, no, you should start your own church. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. No, I can't do that. No. My church would get shut down immediately. Immediately.
Yeah.
I know way too many men that will try to turn it into a band or something, you know what I mean?
Hey, well, I mean, it's probably money to be made in that, to be honest. But hey, that's just a thought.
Stop big.
You know what? Come to figure, there's probably churches right now that have been used as that. So
Oh, 100%.
it's probably
Oh,
happening
definitely
already.
somewhere.
Like, damn,
Yeah,
man.
probably somewhere out there. Yeah.
In fact, we think about it, it's probably like, who's checking? You know what I mean? Who's going to the church to check for drug deals? Like,
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's the perfect
might be
cover
the
up, man.
perfect place. Damn, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, not anymore, man, because we just told people.
Well, true. I guess
Yeah.
they're showing it now. Whoops.
Yeah, sorry, bando trappers or whatever the hell y'all are called. I don't know. But yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, I mean, it is kind of an unfortunate part of London that kind of stuff is. I mean, I guess lots of places really, but it's just kind of very prevalent in London. I mean, I'm sure you see the news of like people getting stabbed and acid attacks and turf wars and
Yeah, man, those turf wars started spilling into my area, man, and yeah, it just got dark at some point where it was just like because I remember there was a point in time like early 2000s as well where your life expectancy as a young black kid was you wouldn't live above the age of 14. You know what I mean? And the day that I turned 50, and I was like, this has to be God, because what the hell? And at the time, it was a bit mad. I can't lie. It was crazy. Yeah, I mean, yeah. But you know what I mean? I'd like to say that it's improved. Well, at least for me in my area, I think it's improved. So yeah. I mean, trying to steer it back into a more positive light now. Don't want to stay over here for too long.
I think you do actually. I mean, because I know you do a lot of the reactions you do. At least a lot of ones that I've seen are sort of around grime and drill and that sort of UK sort of urban music. And I guess coming from that and they're doing this, that kind of informs you a bit more on the culture and what's been said and having more insight on that.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like that whole because I don't really listen to UK music like that. I'm more of a like an American music listener or whatever. But I'm happy that people are finding creative ways to vent their frustration. Right. So I'd rather people vent their frustration through their music rather than, actually going out with a knife this long, I mean, just trying to start trouble. Yeah, I mean, because sometimes it's just as simple as sitting down and listening to someone. Okay, dude, why are you pissed off? That's just all it is. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I like about being a creative, man, because I can't lie, man. My creativity, that's my coping mechanism for everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like some of my best work has come like from those emotional days, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so I think like the best example for that is probably my song Monster, I think. Yeah. I can't remember why I wrote that. I think it was a Juice tribute. I don't remember, but I just remember I was emotional that day. And yeah, it turns out to be one of my best songs yet. So yeah. I like finding peace through my creativity a lot.
Yeah, and I think that's a thing actually when it comes to writing songs or I guess writing a lot of things where you are in kind of a sort of an emotional state about something and then you're trying to channel it into something productive, and it could come out whether with music in your case you could just kind of channel it through that rather than through say anger and violence and so tell me about Monster. What's the sort of gist of that song? What's the song about?
I feel like Monster for me, I like it because again, I'm not entirely sure where it came from, but it's just like one of those I wrote that at like 2 a.m. and recorded it at like 3. You know what I mean? And then had it mixed and everything, and then just dropped it. Monster just kind of came about with, I guess, just a certain feeling of how everyone has got that dark side in them, right?
Mm.
Except I guess I sort of just turned it into a story and kind of, I guess, gave a character a story rather than making it my own story. So I guess I'm just telling it from the perspective of somebody else.
Right,
Maybe.
right. Okay.
I don't know. It's weird, but I don't know. It just like it makes sense to me. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah. Yeah, and
but
I
yeah,
think
but
yeah, I
yeah.
get that. I get that. I
Mm.
think I mean, just kind of not to sound like I'm just trying to talk about myself, but I just feel like
No,
I've
that's
done
so good.
similar things in poetry where you write about your experiences, but sometimes it's very metaphorical. So it's like
Yeah, yeah,
you know what you mean. Other people can take what they can from it or whatever they feel they can get from it, but it's like, the message, you know what you're trying to do. It all makes sense to yourself as to how you start, how you progress, and how you finish it. Other people might not always get it, or they might understand
mm,
this bit or not get that bit, or think it means something completely different, or understand.
yeah,
But it's just kind of like from your minds to paper. And I feel like real creativity or true creativity often comes from that kind of very unique part of our minds
yeah,
where it's
yeah,
not necessarily about being relatable, but just about trying to get something out of you.
yeah. I feel like it's just about expression, really,
Mm.
because I just feel like monster is just an expression of just feeling. Because a lot of the time, sometimes like we try to find meaning, but it's like you just know it when you feel it.
Mm.
So I'm just trying to get people to feel, I guess. Just
Yeah,
feel it.
just feel
Just
it.
feel it. Don't think about it too much. Whatever you feel, just feel it. And that's
Mm.
that. And go about it like that. You know what I mean? That's it. By the way, have you ever thought about going into voice acting?
You know what? I have, and bro,
Your
listen,
voice
yeah,
is phenomenal. I love
the
listening to it.
the amount of people who've said that to me, it's crazy. And yeah, I have thought about it. I've looked into it. Unfortunately,
Yeah,
I
I
haven't really
think you
got
do.
anywhere in a voice acting world. Well, that's not entirely true. I have done some voice acting on a, let's say, like helps out with like YouTubers and
Mm,
that sort of thing. But on like
yeah.
a, say, paid professional level, I haven't got far with that. But yeah, no,
Okay.
definitely, I'd love to be able to do voice acting on, like, especially on
Yeah.
video games,
Oh
or
yeah.
stuff like that, or
Yeah. You need
or
to
a
do
cartoon
audiobooks.
series. And
You
I don't
need
know
to do
about audiobooks
audiobooks
though. That's, I mean, don't get me wrong.
immediately.
I like. That's all. I don't like reading. I don't know if I want to read that much though, because especially when you have to keep repeating stuff over and over again just to get like the
Nah, I
right.
get that.
You mess up the word a little bit, you can repeat it again, or you didn't get the right tone, so you can repeat that. It's like, I
Yeah.
don't know. There's a point where it's like, oh man, can I just go now? but
Yeah, nah, I get that. Yeah.
but then
No, but
having
I'm just
said that,
saying, for me,
yeah.
I'd fall asleep listening to your voice. This is beautiful. That's it.
Well,
I
maybe I
said,
should do
ooh.
like a guided meditation on sleep or something, and
Yeah, maybe,
yeah,
maybe. Who knows?
yeah. Close
Oh,
your
you see,
eyes and
see?
breathe
Got
gently.
people literally close your eyes right now. See, that's beautiful right there.
Breathe in,
You see,
hold,
you
and
see,
out.
you've actually got it. What are you talking about? You've actually got it.
I mean, I might have listened to a few sleep meditations in my day, but
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense.
I'm not gonna
Okay.
lie, they do help actually, for real. They can help.
No, fair enough. Fair enough. Me, I just stay up and edit, or I just have a bunch of ideas, man. I have a whiteboard full of ideas. Oh yeah. Yeah, speaking of which, yeah, I need to get onto that later because
Mm,
obviously, I've come back to the YouTube scene like properly. So I'm just in that process now where I'm just filming a bunch of videos in bulk and then yeah, there you go.
mm,
You know what I mean? And just releasing them. So yeah, I have a lot of ideas that I'm very excited to unveil one day.
yeah.
So one day soon, actually, yeah. Who knows? Maybe in the next few weeks.
Indeed, indeed.
Yeah.
In fact, but you just because you say you're coming back, because I did see your video about you had COVID for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, that must have been
It was painful. It was
yeah,
painful. I
that
can't
must.
lie.
I mean, I know
Because
it affects different people in different ways. Some people are totally fine, then others, real suffer bad. Like, how was it for you?
I was totally fine for the first day because I was like, man, I'm cool. When I woke up the next day, big dog, listen, like everything was just gone. Smell gone, taste gone. I was fatigued. My head was hurting. I was just upset. I was just
Mm,
upset. And imagine that for 2 weeks. The only thing I could move was my thumbs, really, so I could game just fine. But it was just like it was just a lot. But I did use a bit of that time, like to write down a bunch of ideas, which was good. So I did use that time somewhat productively, when I wasn't dying. But yeah, but yeah, it was tough. I can't lie, it was tough. I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemy, and I'm petty as well, so I wouldn't do that. I'm petty as well, but dang, I don't want that for nobody, man. Those 2 weeks were hard, my guy.
2 weeks is what?
Yeah, well, it was about 10 days, but I'd say about like 10, 11 days, maybe. Yeah. And then imagine after I just recovered, I went back to work immediately.
Oof.
Literally,
Oof,
like
no breaks, no days off.
Literally. I went straight back to work. But and ever since then I've just been working. Yeah, I mean, so yeah. But
now, I spoke to quite a few people who've had COVID, and yeah, just seen that the massive differences in how it can affect people. Like I say, some people have it and barely even know they have it, and then some people have it and they're pretty okay. They might cough a little bit, but they're pretty okay. And then you got the other end where people are practically, well, some people are dying, to be fair, but then you got people who just getting to that point where they're wondering if this is going to be their last breath, and it's crazy, man.
No, I didn't get so much to the end, but I was approaching it. I felt like at some point, because it was just some point where it was just like, why does this hurt so much? You know what I mean? But yeah, man, now, I mean, by God's grace, I managed to get out of it. So yeah, so now I need to make up for a lot of lost time. You know what I mean? Which is why I'm just taking the time to build up all my videos and things like that, build up my library. Yeah. Cool. So yeah.
So I'm guessing the whole time you had COVID, you didn't take any like horse dewormer or anything like that.
Oh, what?
And you didn't take any like horse dewormer.
Oh no. Just took some vitamins, a good old paracetamol, bit of Sudafed to unblock the nose, and I was okay. Cool. You know what I mean? But there was a point in time where I got a cough that was mad. You would have thought I was the heaviest smoker in the world with the way I was coughing. Like it was heavy, like it was like tar was in my lungs, man, and I could feel it. That's the worst part. Every time I could cough, I could just feel it. It was just like, oh. You know what I mean? Oh, it was bad. It was bad. But hey, like I said, at least I'm good now. So that's all that matters.
Indeed, thank God.
Yeah, no, man, definitely.
But yeah, I guess that's a good place to start winding down then. Mr. Alpha Kings, big up to you, sir. But is there any kind of last things you like to say before we end? Any last messages? People can find you or anything like that, or just anything you want to say? Anything you want to say?
Okay, cool. So, winding down. First of all, thank you for having me. Definitely. So big shout outs to you. Obviously, everyone, please subscribe to me. I'm trying to hit 10K this year, please. I'm gonna need you guys, please. All right. But I have my first Alpha King production music video coming out very, very, very soon. So if you guys follow me on Instagram, which is just official Alpha King, you'll see a couple of snippets of the music video that I've directed, edited, and helped produce and things like that. So I'm taking my creativity to another level this year, and again, I'm trying to end the year on a high. You know what I mean? So I'm not trying to be the only one ending the year on a high. So I want everybody, to go out there and do their thing and make sure that you come back and let us know what you've achieved. Okay. Because I want us all to enter the next year with, like good mindset to that. You know what I mean? But aside from that, man, just expect more videos, expect more music, just expect better things, really. And yeah, that's it.
All right. Awesome.
So thank you so much for having me, man.
Well, thank you for joining me today, Alpha Kings. And yeah, definitely check out Alpha Kings' channel. I'll put like links in the description and, that kind of stuff. And yeah, drop any comment suggestions of other YouTubers, other creators that you think I should talk to next. And, but yeah, that's going to be it. So till whenever, if ever, peace.